Imagine the president of Russia publicly standing up for India, not once, not twice, but repeatedly. From defending India's oil imports to calling Prime Minister Modi a balanced and wise leader, and even praising India's growth story. But experts warn, should India celebrate this praise or be cautious about Russia's support? I am Inderjeet Kaur from Free Press Journal, and today we are looking at how many times Putin has praised India recently, why Putin is suddenly showering praise on India, and what it means for us. Speaking at the discussion club in Sochi, Putin directly attacked the United States. He criticized Washington for pressurizing India and China to cut energy ties with Moscow. He warned that such tactics could backfire economically and raising global prices and even forcing the US Federal Reserve to keep interest rates high. And then came the praise for India. Putin said, India's decision to keep buying Russian crude is purely economic and not political. He stressed that there is no political aspect there. If India refuses energy supplies, it will suffer certain losses. Estimates vary. Some say it could be around $10 billion, but if it doesn't refuse, sanctions will be imposed and the loss will be the same. So why refuse it? He went a step further, praising Prime Minister Modi. Putin called him a balanced and wise leader, someone who would never allow India to be humiliated. And then this line, people of a country like India will never allow any humiliation in front of anyone. Putin also pointed out that despite US tariffs now raised to 50% on Indian exports since August 2025, India can balance its losses through cheaper Russian oil and still gain prestige as a sovereign nation. He said, of course, the people of a country like India, believe me, will closely monitor the decisions made by the political leadership and will never allow any humiliation in front of anyone. And then, I know Prime Minister Modi, he himself would never take any steps of this kind. The losses faced by India due to punitive US tariffs would be balanced by crude imports from Russia, plus it will gain prestige as a sovereign nation. This wasn't a one-off. Let's track Putin's recent praise for India. In September 2025, Putin praised India's economic performance under Modi, saying India is achieving among the highest growth rates in the world while pursuing an independent sovereign policy. And in the same year, in May, he accepted Modi's invitation to visit India, underlining diplomatic warmth and closeness. And in November 2024, Putin described India and Russia as natural allies and partners. And in July 9, 2024, during Modi's Moscow visit, Putin reminded the world our relationship is a privileged strategic partnership. And most recently in Sochi, he recalled history. Since the days of the Soviet Union, when India was fighting for independence, Russia stood with India. We have never had tensions. Never. That's what Putin said. On the surface, this looks like a great diplomatic win for India, but experts caution us to read carefully.
Now, what Putin is saying, obviously one, he is saying with his national interest in mind. He would very much like that Russian oil has an export market, one. Secondly, yes, from India's point of view, what we are doing is in our national interest. And the secondary effect of it is that global oil markets are relatively stable right now. If Europe still buys Russian oil, okay. If India stops buying and China stops buying Russian oil, the world oil prices would go up. That would lead to an increase in interest rates in the United States.
Russia supporting us publicly in our differences with America, because these differences should be discussed diplomatically, whatever level as required, and resolved. And I'm not saying we are seeking, But our getting support, whether we sought it or not, from Russia or China for that matter, is not in our interest.
So what's the bigger picture here? Putin is under pressure from US and Europe, and India is one of his most reliable energy buyers. By praising Modi and India, Putin is also protecting his own oil trade and global position. Meanwhile, India is balancing carefully, keeping its ties with Russia intact while managing Western pushback. And that's why Putin's words may sound flattering, but for India, it's about strategy, not sentiment. For more news and updates, stay tuned to Free Press Journal.